Wanna play ball, Scarecrow?
What's going on, everybody? This is Bronco Juggalo. It's Slashback Saturday, and I decided to go for a little bit of a different angle. Same position, different height. We'll see how it works. Before I get into Slashback Saturday, I want everybody to go and check out my Teespring store, where you can get awesome fucking shirts like this one. Myself and Bill on the front, OE, Bronco Juggalo and Bill on the back. This shirt is called the Dastardly Duo, and it is for sale right now for only 20 bucks on my shop. It is an awesome fucking shirt. Check it out. Alright, now that that's all out of the fucking way, let's get on with this fucking review. The 1990s are, in my opinion, one of the most underrated decades for horror films. I love the 90s horror. I think it's great. I think this is just as good most of the time as the 1980s. The only difference is in the 1980s we got flooded with slasher films and horror movies. And a lot of them honestly weren't up to par. In my opinion, a lot of the films of the 90s were of better quality because they were a little more choosy. Some of the bigger franchises were on a bit of a downturn, so they had to figure out a way to get them going again. And in my opinion, a lot of them did just that. However, today I am reviewing a standalone film for 1990 slashers, and that movie is Strangeland. Now, for those of you that have seen the film and you're probably thinking, is that really a slasher? Yes, it is a slasher. In this film, our killer, Captain Howdy, kills at least 2 people, possibly 3. And it is my opinion that this is a slasher film. Even if he did not kill them, it plays out like a slasher film. Directed by John Diedlow, starring Dee Snider as Captain Howdy, who also wrote and produced this film. Yes, that Dee Snider from Twisted Sister. Kevin Gage, who plays Detective Mike Gage. A young Amy Smart, who we will come to know in a lot of films in the 1990s and the 2000s. Plays Angela. And Robert Englund even has a role as Jackson Roth, a local redneck, let's fucking get him, drinker, alcoholic. Captain Howdy, an online stalker and pedophile. Yes, pedophile. He makes numerous remarks to him being inside of Genevieve, to him using his codpiece on Genevieve, who was underage at the time, so yes, pedophile. Lures and traps young people on the internet in order to torture them, torturing them to raise their so-called spiritual awareness. He makes a mistake when he goes after the daughter of a police officer. At first, Captain Howdy, he's not looking to kill people. He's looking basically to really fuck with them and torture them. And he does some really fucked up shit to these people. And the movie is pretty graphic in that respect. It shows a lot of the things that happens. And I think that's really cool. He accidentally kills somebody. That helps lead to his capture. After he is captured, he serves about 4 years in prison and institutions. He's deemed not guilty by reasons of insanity. They give him pills, they send him back out into the world, and he's trying to live this quiet, normal life for about 6 hours. Then he gets attacked by Robert Englund and his band of, rednecks, and, of course, the one crazy Christian lady. And they lynch him. And Detective Gage does nothing because, well, the guy went after his kid and he hurt his kid real bad, so he did nothing. Not to mention raped his kid. That's when he becomes a flat-out killer. The idea for this movie actually came from a Twisted Sister song. That's where the inspiration came from for Dee Snider to write this film. The name Captain Howdy was actually taken from The Exorcist and used as a tribute to that film. Club Zabulba in the movie, which is Helverton, Colorado, which is kind of like around Colorado Springs, sort of. It's a fictional town. The Club Zabulba was actually the church nightclub in Denver. A nightclub that actually was an Episcopal church built back in the 1800s. And I used to actually hang out there quite a bit myself. Long time ago, back in the day when I had a very different life. There actually is a comic book prequel. There is a run of comics for this movie that is put out on Fangoria Comics, and there's a prequel to this story. They've been trying to do a sequel for years. Right now, as far as we know, that sequel is not happening. I wish it was. I'm still hoping for it. Because the ending did leave it open for a sequel. The VHS, if you have the VHS, is rated R. If you have the DVD, it is rated unrated, technically, or NC-17. I'm not sure why they gave it an NC-17 rating. I think back in the 90s it was a little more harsher than people think now. Because I definitely feel like it's more of a rated R film, even on the uncut version. I don't really have any actual cons for this film. I think this movie is fantastic. I fucking love this movie. I have since I was in high school. I have always loved this movie. I introduced this movie to all of my friends. I passed out copies of this movie. I literally went and bought copies on VHS and gave it to my friends for their birthdays, for Christmas, whatever, just to spread the awareness of this movie. This is a movie I have loved since it came out, and I am huge into this film. There's one thing I want to say about this film that is not really a negative for me. The technology in the film is dated because it is kind of that start of the internet, the chat room thing when that was becoming big, and you know, the internet pedophiles, things like that were coming out. That part though hasn't changed. We still have that kind of shit, whether it is actual pedophiles and people trying to go after kids, or it is just trolls on YouTube. We still have those kind of things in our world today. So while the technology might be outdated, the theme of the film is not. Not a con, but I did want to address that. On to the pros. First pro, first thing that hits you during the opening sequence, which I really enjoy, I really like the opening sequence, is the music of the film. This has a kick-ass 90s metal soundtrack. If you were into 90s metal, which I definitely am, this is an awesome fucking soundtrack. And it's got some great new tracks from Twisted Sister, Dee Snider, Seven Dust is on here, Marilyn Manson, Cold Chamber. I'm not whatever about Cold Chamber, but the one song that's on here ain't bad. Fucking Kid Rock's got a good song on here. Fucking who else is on here? Seven Dust, did I say them? System of a Down, Soulfly, Head PE, all awesome bands in my opinion, and they all have a great songs on the soundtrack. Those are the first two things that hit me, is the opening sequence and the music. Fucking love them both. I love the premise of this film. As I said, still very relevant today. We may not be doing chat rooms as much, but we still have social media. We have people that stalk and kill people through the internet. We have people that harass people through the internet. We have people that just act like assholes through the internet. It's all there. Still to this day, we still have it. That's not going away anytime soon. Right away, there is a good atmosphere to this movie. This movie is dark. It's dark and it is very... It's very atmospheric and giving that kind of underground, seedy fucking vibe to it. And I fucking love it. It also has a bit of a gothic feel to it, just a bit. And I really do enjoy that. And I think part of that is because of the club, like the church. Because you got that gothic looking church. And that's what it is. It's a gothic church that looks like a club. Or that is now a club, I'm sorry. But I just really enjoy the atmosphere of the movie. I really like it. Sometimes when I'm here on the camera, I'm very articulate when it comes to writing things. I can write great speeches. I can write poetry if I want. I can write songs. But sometimes when I'm trying to just think of the words, maybe I should start scripting all my shit. I can't think of the right word I want to use all the time, even though I know the words. It just, my tongue gets tied, if you know what I mean. Anyways, don't know why I went into that. Whatever. Next pro is Captain Howdy himself. First off, Dee Snider bulked up real good for this role. Second, he looks scary as shit. And third, he is just fucking badass. He is fucking Freddy Krueger and Chucky kind of rolled into one into somebody that should be in the universe of The Crow, you know, in that kind of world, or in the world of Hellraiser. There's a lot that reminds me of Pinhead about Captain Howdy. I fucking love Captain Howdy. He is such a sadistic and evil motherfucker. And he tortures himself as much as he tortures other people, but he gets off on it, and that's just crazy. I love the angry Christian woman, or I should say so-called Christian woman, that kind of leads the charge against Captain Howdy a bit. And she's right there, center stage, while he's getting hung, and does nothing about it. She doesn't speak about that at all. She just wants to see the devil burn in hell. And those kind of people just make me laugh, and they kind of make me sad, but they make me laugh in the case of these movies. And I think it's kind of a cool trope to have her in there, because there's usually a character like that in these kind of films. And I do really enjoy sometimes being put through certain horror tropes. It makes the movie feel comfortable to me, and that's what I love about it. The final thing I want to talk about is Captain Howdy's dialogue. As I said, very much reminiscent of a combination of Chucky, Freddy Krueger, and Pinhead. He has some great fucking lines. I love his lines in this film. So much flesh and so little time. That's a fucking Pinhead line right there. The line that I opened this video with, "Wanna play ball, Scarecrow?" That's a fucking Freddy Krueger line. When he's torturing the Christian woman, he's like, "You don't feel the pain, the body feels the pain." And he's going all in this existential shit. And then she rips open the stitchie because he sews their mouth together. And she's in so much agony, she rips it open and her mouth is all shredded. And she passes out, and he looks at her and he goes, "Or maybe you do feel the pain." Fucking Chucky. I loved that. I loved the combinations of the dialogue. I can tell that he took some inspiration from other characters, but he made it his own, and he made it to its Captain Howdy. Fucking love Captain Howdy. Guys, this is one of my favorite films of the 90s. It's definitely going to be on my best films of the 1990s list. Go and check out all the guys doing Slashback Saturday. Check out my brother Joe, my super slash bro, who created the Slashback Challenge. Have a good night, everybody. Go and join the Horror Mob. Check out the merch store. Peace.
This is Denver City, you might die before the night's out. 303, you disrespect, we put your lights out. LSD is what we steady representing. Go against us and your jungle will be denting. This is Denver City, you might die before the night's out. 303, you disrespect, we put your lights out. Cause there's something wrong with us, we got that sickness. In our city, you get murdered with the quickness. Represent Denver.